stinks.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds. Ryan, Joe, Devin, and I are back for Total Drama Island. And we're talking about week 2, episodes 7 through 12. And this is a really interesting week of boots. This is a week that ends with probably a predictable boot and then ends with a big shocking boot with from our boy Harold. So, and unfortunately, Devin got very sad.
I mean, understandable. Like Courtney, I feel like her best seasons were like, this was her best season, or like where I liked her character the best. Like Total Drama is like a second place, or Total Drama World Tour is like a second place. But this was like, all right, she's not corrupted yet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Okay, so
this was the start.
I just want to say that this, like, after we covering the first 6 and then coming into this 6 group of episodes, I think this is where we start to see the writing team actually like narrow in on like how they want to present the show and also how they want to define characters on the show.
Yeah,
because the entertainment levels in this 6 episodes is way higher than the first 6.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. Well, I think what really helps with any reality show is when you have a big cast. Like once you start narrowing down that cast, you can start actually telling more cohesive storylines because people will have more time to like actually build and have a relationship that like blossoms or falls apart. So yeah, I definitely think that this is like kind of where we start to see that effect where we already lost 6 people, so now it's like, okay, or 5 people. So now here we go.
Yeah.
Why the hell did you learn to count, Joe?
I know. I forgot about the first 2 episodes is a 2-parter.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to talk about these episodes. Let's of course start with Phobia Factor, episode 7, and this has got to be the weirdest group of fears I've ever seen from anybody. I'm just like, what are these fears? Like Duncan's afraid of Celine Dion music stores or video stores.
Those are scary.
Yeah.
No, if it was like a wax museum thing, I would understand that a little bit more. If they're like very long, but the standee and stuff, that's, I don't know. I think they couldn't have any like crazy fears on there. So they were, or like 2 crazy fears on there. So they were like, all right, a standee.
I mean, I think there had to be one super ridiculous joke one. And it's really funny to give it to Duncan, who is like this big baddie kind of guy. So I think that's where it came from in the writing team, was just like,
okay,
we need a crazy one. And here we go.
I want to say this. Honestly, his didn't bother me on the rewatch as much as I was like, who in the hell sits down and thinks, you know what terrifies me? Defusing time bombs, because that happens so often. Like, there's going to be so many times in my life when I have to defuse time bombs, and I'm just terrified of it. Like, that is the one that sticks out to me as, like, absolutely, like, they were out of ideas for, like, like, what they wanted them to be.
I can get that though. It's like, all right, you're the smart guy, you have to figure something else, and there's a ticking bomb, there's a lot of pressure. So like that made sense. I'm trying to think which one. Obviously the Celine Dion one. I would have to say your girl Courtney with the green jelly. That one was like, okay.
Hang on, I want to defend this one because the truth is like I can understand somebody's worst fear may be doing something with food, because like as somebody like who puked within 30 seconds of having to try like baby food of beef stew, like I would never want to jump into a vat of baby food beef stew because I would be literally vomiting all over everything. Like I think food, like, yeah, it's kind of silly because it's a cartoon, so they picked green jelly, but like I do think like if you told me, like, Devin, you have to sit down and eat this sauerkraut, like, it's not fucking happening. Like, absolutely. The idea of vomiting up sauerkraut would make me not want to do it.
Yeah. I also think it's way harder because she had to jump in from, like, a giant thing into the pool.
Right.
If it was just, like, here's a spoon and you just kind of have to, like, muster it down, I actually think that's way easier than potentially risking your life by jumping into it.
Well, I want to say it probably would have been even cooler if they would have flashed back to the second episode when she's like doesn't want to jump off the cliff, and
Yeah.
then flashed to the green jelly, and then was like,
Yeah.
we just combined these two things for you because you
Right,
didn't
yeah.
want to do them. That probably would have like came across, I don't know, more
Agreed.
like understandable.
I think
Yeah.
that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a fair one. Owen and Izzy like being afraid of planes or flying. Obviously, that's something that's going to come into play with Owen as we continue through the first 3 seasons. Like he obviously is going to be scared in World Tour of being on that plane the entire time.
I forgot if they addressed it, but yeah, Izzy's also on the season, and I think she's just fine with it now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember if they made a joke about it, but yeah.
Izzy's worst fear changes each week.
Yeah.
Like what? Okay, here's a question. Here's a fun question. What would everybody's worst fear be if they had to compete in this type of challenge?
Ooh, I wanna
because I was
say-
thinking I know what my worst fears are, but I don't think they would straight up just disfigure me on the show. So that's kind of out of the question.
Well, it depends on what season Chris is, hosting.
Yeah, I was gonna
True.
say,
I mean,
yeah, I would say either heights, or I would say I used to be scared of dolls when I was a kid, so I could see them like I could see Chris pulling something out from my childhood.
Yeah, I'd say for me, it's it'd be funny if I said getting kicked in the balls, and then I can just get kicked in the balls a bunch.
no, I think you just want to get kicked in the balls. and you're
Yeah,
just
I mean,
gonna
it
stay
would be
with
great TV.
We asked
my
for
worst fear is
not-
screen time.
not kink. Okay, like we asked for fear, not kink.
Well, Joe is looking for Owen farting as well. So.
Yeah. My fear is not having Owen on the season.
Listen, mine straight up would be frogs. Like I'm terrified of frogs. Like, ugh.
I
But-
think, all right, probably coyotes. Because, here's why. Because I've been hiking up on the Hollywood Hills a few times, and there was one time they almost ambushed me.
Oh, geez.
Like, one walked right across me, and then there was this little perch where there were like 3 of them. And then I had to oh shit, I'm the only one because I went early in the morning. If I need to start speed walking, don't run or I will die. And I think the messed up thing is they're dogs, so they're cute. But these are dogs that will kill you.
Yeah.
If
Listen,
so, I'm gonna say coyotes.
I just have this
That's fair.
idea of just them being you have to make it through these woods without getting ambushed by coyotes.
Yeah, and then they just put steak in your pants just to be like, oh, this is total drama. So
They're like, you also have to wear this meat suit covered in peanut butter because you got to let off a really good smell and be real tasty.
yeah.
Well, I can just eat the peanut butter.
I mean,
I'll deal with the salmonella later.
Oh God, yeah. So I mean, there's some fun ones in there too, and obviously we get Trent and Gwen. Their relationship kind of takes a bit of a dive because Gwen gets buried alive, which is also a very justified fear of getting buried alive, very much. And Trent gets chased by a mime, which I can get as a kid. You would be scared of a clown or a mime, so I get that one. And then he completely forgets about Gwen, so that kind of sets their relationship in a bit of trouble up through the next episodes.
He still saves her.
Yeah, he does.
The best line of the entire episode actually happens from the mime bit, because when he asks, have you ever thought that you forgot about something and you can't remember it? And Chris just says, yeah, I usually just don't think about it and it bothers me again or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's funny that he stops the mime by saying, "You'll ruin your makeup." And then mime's okay, yes.
This also starts the descent of the last time we'll hear Sadie speak until her elimination, with her basically being thrown into, she's basically second fiddle to Lindsay this episode.
Yeah.
Where they share the same fear. I think overall this is actually a decent episode. This is a fun one. Fun challenge. Lots of fun bits throughout the episode. And I think that there's a good highlight for a good amount of characters like Trent, Gwen, Courtney, Duncan. even like Owen and Izzy to a degree, like Bridget gets
DJ.
like DJ, Bridget, like everybody. There's like a lot of characters that have been kind of either thrown to the side or the ones that have been main characters. The only like character that I can think of that really gets kind of nothing is Lashana this episode, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, she doesn't even get like, we don't see her fear until she's all of a sudden getting chased by a spider. Like that's basically it.
And it's
Like,
Chef hatcheted it as a spider, so it's kind of like
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite line of the episode is when Jeff is getting pelted by the robotic cloud that Chris is controlling, and Lindsay's like, "Oh, I want a baby cloud too."
Lindsay
No,
does.
I loved how like Trent was like, "Can you make it lower and harder?" He's like, "That is evil."
That's what
Yeah. Going on though, real quick about the Sadie thing is that there's a moment where it was going to have like I forgot who it was, Sadie or Lindsay were going to have a different fear that it wasn't going to be together. You could totally tell the writers realized that they did not have time for everyone to have something.
It was Lindsay,
and it
was the heels in the landmines.
Yes.
Yeah, so they clearly just said, okay, we can't do all that stuff, so let's just combine and get these two into the same kind of thing. Probably as they were already like done with most of the episodes.
So I actually have a theory here. I actually think that someone else was originally like in the drafts for like the episodes. I think that somebody else was supposed to get eliminated during the Sucky Outdoors, and that Katie and Sadie were supposed to share that fear. And then whenever they decided to eliminate Katie, they moved Lindsay's fear to that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I can totally see that. Well, let's get to the elimination of Phobia Factor, which is unfortunately Tyler, because his fear of chickens he cannot conquer. And Tyler, that one's a bit ridiculous too, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a friend who they are afraid of birds. So I get it.
Chickens can be fucking crazy. Okay, I have a friend who raises chickens, and they can do wild things. It's hard. You can't really tell them what to do. They're gonna do what they want.
That's true. I mean, he can't even eat a chicken nugget though. Although to be fair, somehow a chicken is still alive inside the chicken nugget. So I don't.
Yeah,
I guess that would freak me out too.
I do want to quickly say that this is like one of the first episodes where I noticed like clear, what would you call it? Like a character who, in a previous episode, demonstrated a certain personality trait that they then, from here on out, will never demonstrate this. Like, Beth is terrified of jumping off the cliff and does not do it. She's the only member of the Gophers who doesn't. So she comes across as this person who's very fearful. And then from this episode on, and especially when we get to season 2, like, Beth is not afraid of anything. And like, she just jumps into this vat of bugs where it's actually just worms.
It's just worms.
So like
very nonchalantly too.
Yeah. It has them in her mouth.
She shrugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also ironic that the person who goes home this episode is a chicken or scared of chickens. So it's kind of like, that's how they kind of go. I feel so bad for Tyler though, because he like had a storyline with Lindsay and they just kind of said, never mind, we'll resolve this in season 3.
Yeah.
And like Lindsay didn't even seem so sad about it either. She was like, bye. It was like,
you expect her to like be on the dock or something and have maybe like her Taylor thing can be there, like that would have been fine, but like for her to just confessional real quick and just be like, okay.
Well, see, what I was like, I guess like if thinking about it now, like it would have been like in the scenes whenever like Courtney is like, why don't we vote him off? And she's like at the other table. She's like, no, like I rehash that joke where she's like off screen during the the ceremony. And then when he gets voted off, she does it again. She's like, no, like that would have probably been funnier.
Yeah. I agree. And it sucks because Tyler is the first contestant to, I believe, start crying as he is riding the boat out. So I like Tyler a lot more in season 3, obviously when he gets more for his character. So it sucks to see him go, but like in terms of like obviously he's not in any alliances with the Bass, clearly from what it clearly seems like, and he's been sucking in all the challenges. So
Right. I mean, I don't think this was the wrong time for him to go. The only thing that sucks is that we'll get to it here in a few episodes when another person gets voted out after not having lines for.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
If I was writing, though, I would absolutely have Sadie go out here and Tyler stays around and takes Sadie's spot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like if the thing is, it's like, because, to kind of like go back to the whole Sadie thing, it was like, oh, she conquered a fear and it was the first time doing something without Katie. It was like, all right, like maybe there's some growth for her character.
But
Yeah.
no.
And, like, it
No.
goes from there. And then, no, she just like, all right, we're just going to save that for another day. If they were going down that route, I feel like, their eliminations probably should have been split up a bit. I think they made the right move there, but it's a little sad they didn't really do anything with her.
Like that they literally like all but forgot she was on the show until they were like, oh shit, we got to get rid of somebody. Like, oh, look, there's that character that hasn't had a line in 3 episodes. Like, I guess she can go this episode. Like, I mean, overall, I think that this was probably the correct spot to send home Tyler. It's just, it only makes sense if Sadie is already gone.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's go to episode 8, Up the Creek, and we get a lot of like relationship stuff. Primarily here, we get DJ being a wingman for Jeff in the episode and setting Jeff and Bridget up, which leads to Jeff, like, I guess, getting the smallest splinter in his knee, and then Bridget, like, it falls for him because of that.
He was horribly disfigured, guys.
She's seen sharks. People get eaten by sharks worse than, or this is worse than that.
This episode was fun for me because we got particularly Jeff, Bridget, Izzy, DJ. We got like some characters that really could have used the development that got development this episode. So I think this is a good episode because of that. And plus it's kind of a breath of fresh air to kind of like get them off the island and go somewhere else. I mean, because Boney Island kind of is like the predecessor to what will eventually happen in later seasons where everything's just completely nonsense chaos going on in the agricultural part of the world in this universe.
Right.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, we also get Cody shining like crazy in this episode. Like this is the Cody episode right here.
Yes,
okay, this is
very much so.
and it's great. I love it.
This is a good episode for Cody, which is kind of disappointing that he then gets kicked off the very next episode for what happens to him. But obviously, he has the whole thing of like he really wants to get Gwen's bra and get with Gwen, but then he realizes that Gwen just really wants Trent, so he's willing to like. For Gwen's bra, he's going to help set Gwen up with Trent. So,
I mean, like, all right, that's a healthy way to go about it. Good job. We didn't need
to go steal it.
We on the podcast use the term healthy loosely.
A little bit, but like healthier. Like, like there could have been a thing where, he gets angry and then tries to target, which would have been bad, but
don't worry, they do that later. We get to see that in like season 6.
With
another
character.
You mean season 5B?
We're calling it season 6.
I do too, but it's like that was one of the biggest no-nos of the entire show.
They knew it wasn't good enough for a full season, so
they were like, you know what? We just made an entire cast that is somehow less relatable than Katie and Sadie.
It is crazy that the best characters are maybe like a low B tier. like that's like where you would rate the best characters.
We'll get there eventually. But so obviously we as Devin said, we do get like DJ also like setting up like, he's afraid of the water because of what happened to him, and like that kind of goes back to the first episode as well, where he doesn't jump, and I think it's like because of that water fear of him getting the wedgie off the high diving board. So I think they did follow that up pretty well. And then DJ does lead them to victory, and Izzy gets chased away by the RCMP randomly.
And then not officially voted off. Which when that happened, I was like, wait, what? No. Because I thought Izzy's antics were great. And then also because there was promotional thing where she's like facing Chef at the time, but like we just her like slitting her finger across her throat like this, and I'm like, wait, this doesn't make sense. We never saw this shot.
Right.
How can she be eliminated? Surprise for the future. But with how she was beefing with Lashana the whole episode, like she was getting on Lashana's nerves a lot, being like, oh yeah, I did all of this stuff, and like, you know, like she went not full Izzy. We find out later how crazy she can be. But this was like the first, like, I wouldn't say the first, but like this is where they kind of dialed it up by a lot to justify her leaving this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they definitely took it from like the most we'd seen was the episode where she dresses as the bear. Like, and then a few comments here and there, but like they literally were like, we're going to take that doll that's been like on a 4 or 5 crazy, and we're going to dial it up to about an 8. And then we will later see them dial it past 10 and break it off the knob.
Yeah. And then, of course, the other big thing is, of course, Chris warns everybody not to take anything from Boney Island, which Beth wasn't around for that advice, and she takes the idol, which ends up cursing the Gophers. So obviously we're going to talk about that soon, but I think they had to come up with like some sort of excuse as to why the Gophers all of a sudden suck in the next couple episodes. So
yeah, I mean they've really been established as the dominant team. Even when they lose, it's usually by like a mistake. Like just a weird fluff that happens on the other team.
I think the Gophers have the most returning contestants out of the two teams. So
well, this season feels like it was made for most of the Screaming Gophers, and then Action, I feel like they use a lot more of the Killer Bass. Like they kind of try to utilize.
I agree with that. So, anything else for Up the Creek?
Be careful of quicksand. Be careful of splinters, because apparently that is worse than a shark bite.
Oh, my favorite part is Cody failing to save Trent, and then Lindsay just jumps in after Trent.
Lindsay was also trying to get with Trent, so it was like
that was an interesting storyline. They also, I feel like they definitely drop it. So, but let's get to Paintball Deer Hunter, which is another fantastic episode. Because now we get to see the Gophers completely start breaking apart because they're cursed. And so here we're basically going to get Beth standing up for herself and turning against Heather, which is huge. And again, it's just crazy that the series of events that keep happening for Heather to stay in the game.
Yeah, very much so. And like in this episode, I mean, like, I don't know when y'all first watched this, but when we saw him like just in the cast in the confessional, because this was back when they tried to treat it more like a reality show where it's like, oh, they go in later and not in the moment they go to confessional. It was like obviously that's like, what the hell happened to him? And that was a little bit of clever writing on their part, because it's like, you have this thing of like, how does he get injured throughout the entire episode until we see his fate and his mauling.
And he's like positive in the wheelchair and the all bandaged up. Like he's still like, everything's gonna be great for me. Like he's still outgoing and positive about it. Which makes it funny as you're just like, what the heck?
This episode does continue the trend that we will see, as obviously, like we talked, like the Up the Creep episode actually was a really good episode for Cody. Probably like he's probably up there in the top 3 for that episode. And this is clearly the Beth episode of the season. Like this entire episode is from Beth. Obviously, them getting kind of their moments to shine the episode before their eliminations.
Yeah.
I think that this episode shines so much because, honestly, because of the Lindsay, Beth, and Heather dynamic kind of getting something actually interesting happening with it without it just being Heather telling them what to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Agree, because the actual challenge kind of sucks. Like how
Yeah.
it plays out, it's like there's no drama in who's winning this challenge. Like almost at any point, you already know the Screaming Gophers are losing this one very
Mhm.
quickly.
Yeah.
Well, also there was like a bit of a pattern that was happening as well, where it was like, oh, 2 from this tribe, 2 from this tribe,
Yeah.
2 from this
Yeah.
tribe, and it was like ping-ponging back with this pattern for
Yeah.
a while. So it was like, oh, somehow they're going to lose.
And
Though I
you
will
know
say,
with the title that it's going to be them. So
yeah. Watching Owen like narrate his hunt and everything was, and like not deterred by any and all obstacles and ineptitude
Oh my God.
Yeah.
that is presented to him.
Yeah.
Oh, Owen hunting DJ and Duncan, like DJ's like a deer, like actually a deer, and Owen getting thrown off the cliff by DJ, and then my favorite part is Owen in the tree, he farts, and Duncan's like beans.
Yeah. I think
Nice.
DJ was kind of a dick throwing Owen off, to be honest. Like that wasn't part of the game.
I'll be honest. This is one of the few episodes where I think they did Owen correctly. Like, I feel like Owen sometimes, like, he's always in the episodes, but sometimes it's like almost like they don't know what they're going to do with him.
Mhm.
It's when they clearly found a way to, because he's supposed to be the like comedic relief character, and they found a way to make his comedic relief related to what was actually happening within the major story of this episode as far as the challenge is concerned. I think we also get the best, what do you call it? Like, for me, the best quote of the episode as Harold finally speaks again, where he basically entices Bridget into hunting Heather,
Yes.
which I found really fun. And just the
Mhm.
way that he delivered it is, I mean, obviously I'm a fan of Harold. So finally getting more Harold content, even if it's just that small little bit, was nice.
Yeah, we will get much more from Harold in the next few episodes, including one of my favorite quotes in the whole series. We'll get there next episode, but the dynamics make this a fun episode. And then Duncan and Courtney are continuing their relationship with they lock antlers, and Duncan's just like, "You want to make out?"
And he gets a swift kick to the Kiwis.
Joe's favorite.
Oh yeah. Come on, Total Drama, bring me on. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it for free.
They did. They animated you. They gave you a bowl cut and made you max. That's what you even got. You got 5th place. Why are you even complaining?
Wow, you just did me so dirty.
That literally would be Joe, though. Like the chaos. And then Joe gets himself just kicked out just for being too chaotic.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, I'm done with the chaos. I'm done with evil.
Yeah, I'm too chaotic even for Chris.
Yeah.
All right. So unfortunately, Cody then gets mauled by a bear, and the Codemeister is voted out, but not before Beth gives him the kiss of death off the top.
Literally, that was what was weird to me. Is like we've always watched them get onto the vote of losers, and Cody literally gets like thrown in the lake. Like Beth is this is where I have come to my conclusion that Beth is actually secretly a sociopath, because there was no boat for him to roll onto, and she clearly gave him like the little, after that kiss of death, right into the lake while he's in a full body cast. But
yeah,
I think it was more so it would be fun if we see him drown. That was the like this was the shocking elimination in the sense of like, because Cody did get quite a bit of screen time as well, so we thought, all right, he's probably going to make it to like halfway. And then surprise the writers were like, no, he has to go to tug on to tug on the heartstrings and be like, all right, people you might think are safe are not safe.
Well,
Right,
I'll say this also. With the exception of one character, we are to the point where everybody has at least some sort of storyline. Like
Right.
the cannon fodder, except for one, are gone. Like, so I do think that Cody is the first of like the people who have like, what would you call it? Like secondary character energy at this point going. I mean, so I that's why I think they did a pretty, like they kind of fell into their groove at this point, because like the eliminations actually felt like there were stakes to it. Like people probably actually were fans of Cody. Well, we know that people were fans of Cody because of what they
We got one right here.
but like even the next couple people who we'll talk about, like there were obviously people who enjoyed their characters with the exception of one. And
oh my, poor Sadie's just getting shit on every single opportunity.
this is more screen time than she got.
Yeah. Yeah, we have spent way more time bashing her and Katie than their collective time across all of the seasons.
Oh my god. All right. Well, so Cody falls into the lake. Luckily, he's a quick healer, so he must have swam out of it or something. But,
Yeah.
Production probably was like, we probably shouldn't let him die.
Yeah.
I guess.
Like Beth leaves him, by the way, before the boat's even there. I mean, like the boat should have already been there. Like, what are we doing here?
yeah. Again, the curse.
Yeah.
All right. Episode 10. If you can't take the heat, it is the cooking challenge, and we begin the challenge by seeing Harold's skid marks on his dirty underwear.
They did my dad. They did him dirty. I'm not gonna lie. It was like you didn't have to write that. You could just have him have his underwear around. You didn't have to make it that the man needed a bidet or to wipe better or dude wipes, non-sponsored.
Yeah.
But you know what we did need? We needed the quote, "My biscuits are burning."
My biscuits are burning. That was a good...
I will say this is an episode that makes me dislike Duncan, Jeff, and DJ for doing this to Harold. Like, yeah, it's gross to leave your crusty underwear around, like, but it feels like it goes a little too far sometimes with this. Where I'm just kind of like, okay, well, maybe
it just felt weird that Jeff and DJ were kind of involved a bit more.
Yeah.
Like I get it was like, all right, you have that one roommate that's not really, like being considerate and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like, why are they also like especially for I feel like the first like couple for like the first prank, that wasn't too bad. I think putting him out on the water for all the ladies to see him, that one was that's a little too mean for everyone except Duncan.
Yeah.
We're going from PG to college hazing.
Yes.
So like I will say this episode is very much carried from the Bass point of view on Harold's relationship with the boys. I think from the Gophers end, like we continue to have the dysfunction in Heather and her alliance, which is less fun than it was the first time we seen it in the previous episode, but still, like, it is nice after basically her being like completely unfazed minus some red ants, finally getting like some comeuppance for her awful actions to people during the game. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to say. Like, obviously, like this is like the episode where I genuinely just like based on what they presented to us, like Owen probably should have went home this episode.
Owen should have
screwed their entire team.
He injures Trent. He eats the ribs. Like Owen should have gone home. And this is also this is where Trent just gets injured the rest of the pre-merge.
Yeah.
So
well, it just goes to show you get a good social game. Like he's still so likable that even when he literally just ruins our entire challenge by eating all the ribs, it does not matter.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I think one, he had some shields. One, Heather. It's like, do you really want to keep Heather around longer than you need to? But what ultimately saves them is, Beth is cursed. That finally comes out. It is revealed to the Gophers that she broke the rule of Boney Island. You don't take anything back. And then it was like, even if you put it back, there's still some residual juju, so you have to go.
Yeah, I feel bad for Beth that like her literal biggest mistake is not even that she stood up for herself and went after Heather. It's literally just she had this statue, so she has to go.
Yeah.
Well, I think at that point she got her story where it was like she finally stood up for herself and everything, told Heather off. And I feel like they were like, yeah, we don't need her anymore.
Right.
And then that's when she had to go.
That's really kind of how I feel about Beth and Cody. Beth, Cody got the brawl off of Gwen. He got his his story kind of came to an end the episode before he went home. And then it's kind of like the writers literally were just like, at least with Beth, it felt planned. Like they were like, okay, we're going to have her take it in this episode, and then we're going to have her be found out about in this episode. And there's going to be the episode in between where she gets her, character moment. While Cody's kind of felt like he got his moment and now he's getting mauled by a bear. But I do think that these eliminations are actually like decent eliminations. At least they make us understand why they got eliminated, opposed to like in the first 5 eliminations of the season where it kind of was like the person who finally is getting screen time's going home.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Cody and Lindsay should have hooked up, but that's all I'm going to say. She said he was her hero.
True.
Come on.
True. And that didn't go anywhere.
Like what a crazy thing would that be?
I think you want your little self-insert to.
Okay, so now you're saying I'm Max. Now you're saying I'm Cody. Jeez.
I was
Cody
I know.
Because they look very, very similar.
Yeah.
You're Max. Devin, who would you say that your self-insert would probably be?
I really don't think I have one. The character I relate the most to, like that I can see the most of myself in, it is the reason I like Courtney, because I think I can be very uptight, but I'm a lot more funny, like goofier than Courtney is overall. But I can get very uptight, and I do like to have things go my way, and I can be kind of a complete. I mean, we've watched my seasons. Hero to villain edit is definitely the Devin thing. So, I don't know. Like, as far as like actually like personality, I don't know. Like a more conscientious player version of Owen, because I feel like I tend to play goofy most of the time, but like I still play the game instead of sitting around farting.
Devin also implies the himbo strategy.
See?
So Ryan, who are you?
That's tough because I feel like in different phases of my life, I could be compared to so many of them.
And that's why you're Mike.
Mike,
I would say Mike would probably be up there. I think when I started, maybe a little Cody. As I grew more cynical, Noah.
I feel like how about Dave?
No.
I like that one. I think that's a good one.
No,
right?
I would even take Topher over Dave. Topher would make sense. That's like the
screen time
caricature version of what Neo Wayne is.
Yeah.
I would take Topher over Dave. Come on now. That's messed up.
Yeah, I don't think Ryan is doing the things the lengths Dave went to try to get Sky. So.
I just had to say it because he goes in the order of all these, like, what would you call it? Like the petite nerd characters, like the Codys, the Noahs, and then like there's Dave.
No, good God, no. No.
God. Yeah. So Beth does go. The only other funny things from this episode is we do get Jeff telling Bridget that she reminds him of his friend's really hot mom.
Honestly, I realized on the rewatch that like there are reasons why I enjoy Jeff and Bridget as characters. Like, I think that sometimes they kind of, like, the longer you're away from the show, they kind of fall into the background. Like, what did they do? But Bridget and Jeff are actually usually pretty funny when they're on screen.
Yeah. I enjoy their dynamic together.
Even when they were first boots in the next season, and Jeff was like not even on the season at all, like they still gave him stuff to do as well.
All right, episode 11, Who Can You Trust? And this is where we get DJ and Bunny. So poor Bunny. I mean, I guess at least DJ gets a new Bunny by the end of the episode, thanks to Duncan showing his softer side, which is really cool that they can give Duncan a little more complexity to his character, because he is like the bad boy, but he does have that softer side. So
I think that these last 2 episodes, they really go out of their way to flesh out all but one of the killer bass. And we get a lot of, obviously we had Harold content, and then we get a lot of DJ content this episode. We get Duncan content. We kind of get some Courtney content with her. This is kind of what leads her up to her episode, with her like seeing the softer side of Duncan. We've got some Jeff and Bridget content throughout these last couple of episodes. Like, I think that this was actually a good thing, because I feel like the Bass, despite losing a lot, they were not very developed outside of like Courtney and Harold and maybe like Duncan. But I still think Duncan was underdeveloped until these episodes too, where he was just kind of the bully type character.
Yeah, agreed. Ryan, Joe, any thoughts here on Bunny or Duncan?
Well, yeah, I feel like, and this is where you like, there was always some like tension between Courtney and Duncan, like romantic tension, like, oh, they, like they're total opposites and stuff. But there is a, like, this is where, like, she finally is like, okay, he's not a total douche. Like, he does act, like, he is a nice guy after all. It is a act. And so you get that. And then, with the Gophers and stuff, they do kind of take a little bit of a backseat. Most of it is just them getting hurt and then ending up in the infirmary. And then, just little shenanigans with Heather here and there.
Trent injury number 2, where he accidentally eats a poisoned blowfish or pufferfish guts because Lindsay can't. She failed biology, so.
I don't know why he agreed to take a bite. It's like clearly, that's not going to work.
It had ketchup.
It had a ketchup smiley face. Yeah, apparently that works for Trent. I also love the stunt guy jumping in for Chris. Like, I love that they just show the stunt, and then Chris just pops up and you can see the guy crawling off to the side.
Yeah. That was fun. I don't know, this one, I don't know. I feel like, especially this episode doesn't, for me, like, I would say out of these bunch of episodes, this may be the weak one for me. It does give some like crucial like setup, obviously, for the Bunny stuff. Duncan, fleshes out Jeff and DJ's like bromance a little bit more. And then finally giving Sadie some mercy from y'all.
Goodbye, Sadie.
Okay, so this is all I have to say about Sadie's elimination.
No.
Everyone's eardrums simultaneously just exploded.
I will say I also just hated the ending when they started doing that, and then I literally had to take off my headset and I went away. I walked away from the computer.
Oh God, yeah, it's just also I actually kind of laughed when like she's like so upset that they just voted her off, and she's like, "You marshmallow eating freaks," and then you can hear her sobbing as she runs away.
Yeah. She She sounds like she's being choked as she's laughing.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Or crying.
But no, I get what they were at least trying to accomplish there with them, like reuniting after what is it, like 5 episodes of being
Yeah.
away from each other. So like I get that, but yes, I know like what is it, 10 seconds of them going E for
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Can we make a quick comment though?
Yeah.
Katie in particular in this episode gets one line, and that one line is everything the audience was thinking. Oh yay! It wasn't one of my favorites. It was Sadie.
Well, at least we get rid of the dead
I wish that just the ending was just, they're doing the E and then just the sharks just came out, destroyed the boats, and then we never see those two characters again.
so mean. No, worse. They get a splinter.
They're horribly disfigured.
Yeah. And this time they mean it.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we ready to go on to what I consider probably the best episode of the entire season?
Yeah, this
I-
is definitely
I might agree with you.
It's top 3 for sure.
Yeah, so basics training, this is where we get Chef hosting the challenge, which is awesome. We get some development for Chef, and I think like that's really, really cool that they gave him this.
Mhm.
So
We get development for Chef, Courtney, Duncan, Harold, Lashana. Like, this to me was like everything up until the elimination was topped. And I love the elimination. I'm not going to say I don't, because it's one of the best eliminations in the entire show. But like, this was clearly like whenever we finally seen the writing team, I think, firing on all cylinders. There's funny moments throughout the whole setup of the challenge. Like, even when they're not talking, like the goofy stuff that's happening. Chef, it proves that he probably should have been the host instead of Chris, because he's funnier as a host, in my opinion.
agreed.
Yeah. No. And then also, I don't know. I feel like, especially Duncan, if you're a Duncan fan, this is like one of his big episodes too, where it's like, oh yeah, delinquent kid in military school. We get that. And it's the part where he's doing like push-ups, and then he's like, thank you, and then gives him a smooch on the nose.
Yeah.
And then pisses him off. Yeah, I love that so much. Yeah, I love Duncan just defying Chef, and then obviously he gets Courtney to then defy Chef, and I think that's great. So
I mean, okay, so this episode for me is like a 9.5 out of 10. And can I tell you what would make it a perfect 10 for me?
What?
I think, because to me it always felt weird that Harold flipped the votes onto Courtney whenever it would have made more sense for it to be Duncan that he screwed. But I think if they would have set up back whenever, maybe during the dodgeball or the talent show, a friendship between him and Courtney, and then have him feel like when he sees them kiss, have the, like, her, being with his, bully be like the tension breaker. I think that would have been like the drama part of Total Drama, like could have been ramped up right there, and it would have made sense to why the elimination happened. It would have made sense to like why he felt so hurt by not just Duncan, but Courtney too. I think that would be my only critique. Like if they would have put like an extra 30-second spot in one of those other episodes to set up their friendship, a friendship between those two, so that it felt like he was betrayed by her.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I think that would be a good addition. I think as it stands, it's just like, he thinks getting rid of Courtney is going to be the best way to get back at Duncan. The best way to hurt him back is to get rid of the person that he cares the most about. So, so I think in that sense, it still works. But I do think what you're saying, Devin, would work even better. So.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, this is the first main character of the show that has just been taken out.
Yeah,
they gave Courtney a lot of screen time, and for her to go out before the merge here, kind of like really sets the tone. Like, no one's safe. This is like Game of Thrones, like main character season 1 just getting taken out and being like, okay, yeah, guess what? Now everyone's on the table now.
Right.
Yeah. Also, I feel like it like almost gives a little bit of payoff to those episodes where it was so predictable who was going home, where this episode, honestly, in my opinion, up until the elimination, feels like it's definitely Harold's swan song episode. Yeah. And to flip it to where it's not his swan song, it's Courtney's, is probably gives a little bit of payoff to all those times that you were like, oh, well, this is who's going home this episode.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a shame that in future seasons they didn't remember to do it, because like I can tell, like that was the downside of like some later seasons. They made it very apparent who was going home that episode. Like within the first 5 minutes, you can kind of like maybe tell. Like especially it was worse in All Stars and Pacateo. Those were like the most egregious examples.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times they'll set up a character's like character flaw and then they'll like overcome it or something, and that's usually a sign like, oh, it's probably them if they made sure to let us know early on, and then bam, they're now suddenly all good because you can't do much with them now that character flaw is gone.
Right. Like honestly, I feel like it's that, or we've sat around with this character and they haven't had much to do, and then we get shown that episode a huge character flaw, and that's the reason going home is because of this flaw that we've just now been brought to our attention. I think that this, obviously we still got one more pre-merge episode. Well, technically 2, but like one major one left. I think that this is kind of like the tipping point. Like I think for me, maybe it's just like you can tell that this set of episodes, particularly with like Cody, Beth, and Courtney, they finally found that the characters they actually enjoyed writing for. And clearly, like these 3 characters are brought back and either get their own season where they're a main character for the whole season, or in Courtney's case, like she gets brought back for multiple seasons and is a main character in almost every season she appears in.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Harold rigging the votes, I feel like that's something Joe would love to do.
Yeah, if that was an option that was on the table, I mean, like, yeah, do that every time. You should have done that every season. Like, every vote. Like, he didn't get caught. No one stopped him. They let it happen. They knew it happened.
I think when you get a street lamp wrapped around you, that deters you from cheating again.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen until way later. So when he's in the game, you should have just kept being like, "Okay, Duncan, you're next. Okay, Jeff, you're next. Okay, DJ. Okay."
I mean, I think next episode he gets a little distracted.
He saw movies.
We'll get there next week, but so we lose Courtney. We are done with week 2. So let's hit our favorite and least favorite characters of the week. For me, my favorite character of the week is going to be Duncan. I just think he got a lot of good development and became a complex character. And now we get to see like that he just lost someone that he has built this relationship with, that he cared so much about. And how is this going to affect his character? Obviously, we know how it affects his character, and we'll see how it goes. But and then my least favorite is, of course, going to be Sadie, because she's just useless. So.
All right. I think I will give it to Duncan as my favorite. I think we've dumped on Sadie too much. No, or I feel like we've done it so much.
I think we've done it like a modicum amount.
Joe will even say sometimes, like if someone's when we do like MVP and LVP on our podcast, I might be a little like, maybe we've been too harsh on someone.
Okay. What you're saying is we're harsh, but it's Sadie.
The thing is, Sadie just doesn't do anything in this, and it's like similar to Justin, where it was like, like they had like one episode where they like did something and then nothing for the rest. So I might say just Beth because she just picked up the thing and then caused the Gophers to just lose things.
Listen, I think those are the two right options personally for LVP. Yeah, I do think those are like the top two for me. I am going to give MVP to Courtney, okay, because I think that this is like the good like growth of Courtney here, like really the ramp up of her relationship with Duncan is the best part, and I'm a bigger fan of Courtney than I am of Duncan, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But no, it's Sadie. It's Sadie, 100%. She's the LVP.
All right, Devin.
Okay, so like we can just get this out of the way. Sadie is irrelevant, and the bottom of the barrel scraper for these group of episodes. Obviously, you know, I'm Team Courtney. I think it's in my little tag. You know, T. Also, just because like Courtney has some of the best lines from Total Drama that I quote all the time is like, you voted for Harold over me. I was IT. And then like obviously like I do not concede. You know, you'll be hearing from my attorney. Like all of the sassy, bratty things I want to hear Courtney say. We get them in this segment. I really just think I do want to throw out an honorable mention and say that I also like really kind of enjoyed Bridget a lot throughout this rewatch in this group of episodes, because especially with the horribly disfigured
Yeah.
and then she's like, I don't know, I found that I actually found more of Bridget's I guess like I was more surprised that how much I enjoyed Bridget. So there are other characters that and then obviously Harold, but like Courtney this is her like queen shit, you know, segment of episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, that is week 2. So if you enjoy us talking about Total Drama Island, subscribe, like, share, comment, give us your thoughts, your favorite, least favorite characters, and we'll be back next week for boobies, disgusting food, and some interesting eliminations.
The merge.
The merge.
The merge.
All right. With that, we will see you all next time for more Total Drama Island on the Tribe of Nerds.